Imagine a young warrior named Minamoto no Yoritomo rising from defeat, driven by revenge. He leads a bold mission that changes Japan forever. Many years later, Tokugawa Ieyasu, a clever leader, gains control of the country, bringing peace to a chaotic land. But peace comes with a price. This is the story of Japan's shogunate, a military government where power, honor, and betrayal shaped a nation for hundreds of years. For almost 700 years, Japan was ruled by different military leaders called shoguns. This time in history is split into three periods: Kamakura, Ashikaga, and Tokugawa. Let's explore how these shoguns gained power, ruled the land, and eventually lost control. The shogunate started during a war called the Genpei War, 1180 to 1185. This fight was between two powerful families, the Taira and the Minamoto clans. When Yoritomo defeated the Taira clan, he became the first shogun in 1192. This marked the beginning of the Kamakura shogunate. Yoritomo built a new government called the Bakufu, or tent government, in the city of Kamakura. While the emperor in Kyoto remained as a symbol, the shogun had the real power, controlling both the military and politics. Yoritomo set up a feudal system where samurai became important warriors. He appointed governors, shugo, to manage provinces and stewards, jito, to look after estates. Even though Yoritomo's family started this system, real power eventually shifted to the Hojo clan, who acted as regents for weaker shoguns. During this time, Japan faced two major threats: Mongol invasions in 1274 and 1281. These attacks were stopped partly thanks to fierce storms called kamikaze, divine winds. After the Kamakura shogunate fell, a new leader named Ashikaga Takauji created the next shogunate in the city of Kyoto. This time was called the Muromachi period. However, the Ashikaga shoguns struggled to control the powerful daimyo, regional lords. As a result, Japan fell into a long civil war called the Sengoku, Warring States period. This time of chaos continued until strong leaders began to unite Japan again toward the late 1500s. The Tokugawa shogunate began when Tokugawa Ieyasu took power in 1603. Ieyasu moved the capital to Edo, modern-day Tokyo, and set up a system to control the daimyo. One of these controls was the Sankin Kotai system, which required daimyo to live part-time in Edo and leave their families there as hostages. The Tokugawa period, also called the Edo period, was mostly peaceful. However, the Tokugawa rulers isolated Japan from the outside world with a policy called sakoku, limiting contact with foreigners. Even with peace, the shogunate made sure the samurai stayed ready to fight. During the Tokugawa period, Japan experienced a cultural boom. Beautiful woodblock prints, ukiyo-e, kabuki theater, and haiku poetry flourished. Zen Buddhism, which had gained popularity earlier, also shaped art and the tea ceremony. Japan's military changed during the Sengoku period with the arrival of firearms. Even though there were fewer wars in the Tokugawa era, the shogunate kept a strong military to stop rebellions, like the Shimabara Rebellion in 1637 to 1638. Japan's connection with the outside world changed over time. In 1543, Portuguese traders arrived, bringing Christianity to the islands. However, the Tokugawa shoguns saw Christianity as a threat and worked hard to shut it down. They also limited trade to only the Dutch, who were allowed to trade through Nagasaki. This policy of isolation lasted until 1853, when American ships led by Commodore Matthew Perry forced Japan to open its borders. The Tokugawa shogunate eventually fell for several reasons. The strict rules of society, economic troubles, and the pressure from Western countries all played a role. In 1868, the emperor regained power during the Meiji Restoration, ending the shogunate system. This marked the beginning of Japan's transformation into a modern country. The shogunate was a time of warriors, strategy, and shifting power between shoguns and emperors. It brought both cultural growth and strict control. When the shogunate ended, Japan changed quickly, moving from a feudal society to a modern nation. This story of warriors and leaders is still a key part of Japan's history and identity today.